Hey there everyone, it's Jenna. Welcome or welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are gonna head off to Hobby Lobby to do a little shopping together. And you all know that I like to take you through the store with me and point out those specific pieces that will really help to elevate your space and give it that designer expensive look. But of course, they're for those amazing budget-friendly Hobby Lobby prices. And then we'll come back home and I'll show you everything that I found for my own space and how I'm planning to style it so you can get some fun holiday decorating inspiration. So I hope you guys enjoy, and without further ado, let's go shopping. Okay, so here we are at Hobby Lobby, and one of the first pieces that I spotted was this brass look reindeer. And this guy was on sale for $18, which is crazy because it looks so much more expensive than that. Many designer sites sell similar brass look animal figures for a lot more, and these are a super versatile accent piece that you can pop on a shelf, a mantle, a little side table, or even a console table. They also had this sitting one for $13, so $31 total for the set. And I love how these look styled together. The only drawback was they left a lot of gold residue on my hands, so they might be best for a low touch or a low traffic area. And if you don't want to deal with that though, they also had them in a bunch of different finishes like this brown velvet. My favorite is still the gold, but it's nice that you could pick the finish that matches your space the best. And they also have a huge selection of affordable garland here. And one of my absolute favorites is this thick pine cone garland. I've used this on my mantle in years past, and I love how full and lifelike it looks. The pine cones help to add some visual interest and give off that rustic feel, which I love. And one of the best parts is that this garland is only $25, which is amazing because even similar garlands that are on sale are way more. So over in this woodsy section, I spotted this set of 3 large birch logs for only $16, and that is such a great deal considering they sell super similar birch logs on Anthropology for $48. And you could just simply cut these in half to get a similar look. And I love styling these in a little planter by the fireplace with some stems for that cozy rustic look, and they just help to add such a beautiful natural texture to a space. Another spot that I always like to check out is the holiday pick aisle, and typically I gravitate towards the ones that look like they've been plucked right off of a tree, just because I like a more natural earthy look when it comes to my decorating. And these are great to pop in little vases or baskets just to add a festive touch to your decorating. And I've used these specific stems many times in little decorative vases around my home. And again, I just love that rustic pine cone detail on them, and the fact that these are only $3.50 each is such a steal. Another piece that's great to have for the holidays and just year-round in general is this little wall basket. This guy is $30, but it does go on sale for 40 to 50% off depending on the week, and that's a great deal considering that lots of designer sites sell similar baskets for almost double that price. I also love this little gold frame with the burgundy ribbon. They sell super similar ones at Pottery Barn for $20, while this one was only $3.50. And this would be a really sweet gift for someone with a black and white photo inside, and you can even use them to garnish a gift instead of a gift tag. And gift garnishes have been really popular the past couple of years, and I thought that these little wooden trees would be cute to tie on a gift with some ribbon. And one of my favorite super affordable gift garnishes that I've used in the past are cinnamon sticks. I just used some scrap fabric in little greenery pieces to tie on my presents, and then I garnished them with a cinnamon stick, and they just gave off such a fancy designer feel, but they were super simple to do. Another piece that looks a lot more expensive than it is this glass tree drink dispenser. And this is such a beautiful piece if you host a lot during the holidays. Another piece that was such a great deal were these wooden craft nutcrackers. And these guys were only $5 each, and they look really similar to the one that they sell on McGee & Co. for $34. And I like that these are a raw wood, so you can stain them with whatever finish you like, or you could even paint them to match your space. Another piece that's great to have on hand are little mini wreaths, and designer sites sell these for close to $20, while the ones here are in the $3 price range. And I've used these same exact wreaths styled on the back of our dining chairs with some ribbon that I bought on Amazon, and it really helped to elevate the look of my holiday decor. And I noticed that this year they really had a large variety of mini wreaths to choose from. Okay, so now we're back home from the store and I'm gonna show you everything that I found for my own space and how I'm planning to style it. So the first piece that I got was this super beautiful woven seagrass sleigh. Now, everything at Hobby Lobby right now that's Christmas is 50% off. So this was priced at $50, so I got it for 25 bucks, which is such a good deal considering that Antiques Farmhouse sells a super similar looking one for $64, and also Magnolia, which I really like because I feel like that's a designer site that has like kind of more reasonable prices. They have a similar one that is $48. So still pretty much half of the price for this guy. And I love the warmth that this is going to add to a space. That woven detail just adds a lot of texture. And I love the lines on this with the really pretty curves on the end. And I just think it's such a fun piece to incorporate into my holiday decorating. So how I'm planning to style this is I'm actually going to style it here on the fireplace. And I'm going to put some stems in it. I'm going to use the viral Norfolk pine stems. Those are some of my favorites. And I actually did see them at Hobby Lobby a couple of months ago. They were super cheap. I think they were like $7.99. And I'm sure most of the stores have sold out of them. I have not seen them since I saw them back in like August. So they were like putting them out initially and I think people just bought them up because they're so popular, but I will link some similar ones below. I just think that they look so realistic and I'm gonna put a bunch of them in here and then I'm gonna add some ornaments for some extra interest and it'll just look like a really cute styled moment here on the fireplace. And instead of ornaments, you could use something more natural, something like pine cones. I think that would look really elegant as well. And I think that this piece gives off that high-end designer feel because it's made out of natural materials. So it's really earthy and organic looking, but it's still festive at the same time. And definitely an amazing deal at only $25. Okay, so when it comes to decorating for the holidays, I love to incorporate amber glass. I just think that it has such a beautiful vintage and timeless look, and it also helps to add such a classic warmth to a space. So I found these really beautiful crackled amber glass ornaments, and these guys were $6.99, so $3.50 each. They actually had a larger size as well. Those guys were 10 bucks, but I opted for the smaller size and these are still like pretty substantial, I feel like, but I just loved the crackle detail in them and how the top looks like it's a true like vintage ornament because it has that aged look to the brass. I just thought that these were so charming and I love the super warm look that these give off when they catch the light. So what I'm actually going to use these for is bowl filler. So I'm just going to put a couple of these in a bowl with maybe a little piece of greenery just to give my space more of like that rustic vintage feel for the holiday season. But these would look so beautiful hung on a tree, especially if your tree is by a window because they would catch the light and just add a ton of that like glowy warmth, which I personally love. So definitely a really good deal on these. Okay, so this next piece is probably one of my favorites. It is this really beautiful rustic pine pick, and these were priced at $4.99 before the discount, so it was only $2.50 for this stem. And this is technically a pick, and picks are used a lot of times to, you know, make your garland appear more full, so you'll just stick some picks amongst garland, or you can stick them in trees for a more varied look with the greenery in your Christmas tree. That's what a lot of people use the picks for, but personally I just like to style them as stems. So I've showed you guys a bunch, those like really beautiful kind of rustic magnolia stems that I found. I'm gonna actually mix these in with that arrangement to create a beautiful transitional fall to winter look. So the magnolia stems I feel like are very versatile and you could use them throughout all of the seasons. I love the moody rust color on them, but I feel like if I add just a couple of these picks in there with it, it'll really help to give it that kind of like fall to winter transition look. So that'll make a beautiful statement over on our dining table, and both stems just look super realistic even though they were affordable. So that's what I love to do, is try really hard to source stems that have a really lifelike look and feel to them. So these definitely do, and I bought 5 of them total, so if I do want to use them in a vase by themselves, that will be enough. So really good deal on these, and I love the lifelike rustic look of them. Okay, so the next piece I got was this really beautiful set of these snow-covered pine cones, and these were $11.99, so $6 total, which I felt like was a really good deal. And for me personally, I've talked about this before many many times on my channel, but when it comes to holiday decorating, I love to incorporate earthy organic details. So things that come directly from the earth, and that just helps to give your space a really calming, natural, organic feel, which I love. But because they're snowy pine cones, they're still festive. So I'm just gonna use these as bowl filler. I also just love the snow detail on these. I feel like that really helps to highlight the texture and makes it seem very visually interesting, which is nice. But again, it's still very natural and subtle, which is what I'm going for. And what's actually really cool is these have loops on them. So if you wanna make a garland out of this, it'd be really beautiful to string some twine through here, just to have a little rustic pine cone string to maybe hang along some garland. That would be really pretty too. But I'm just gonna use mine as bowl filler for now, but maybe in the future I'll make these little ornaments to hang on my tree. It's really nice that they have that hook, so they're super versatile, and $6 for this entire set is such a good deal. Okay, so in the shop with me portion, I showed you all how they had those really beautiful unfinished wood nutcrackers in the craft section, and I really liked those, but I did see this one that had this more beautiful, like rich walnut finish, so I decided to go for it so I didn't have to deal with the staining. And this guy was $17.99, so $9 after the 50% off, which I felt like was such a good deal because currently McGee & Co sells a very similar one, and theirs is $35, so just a fraction of the price. And I actually really like the stain on this. I think it's gonna add a really beautiful, rich warmth to my space for the holiday season. And they did have 2 nutcracker options. I personally opted for the one with the little drum detail. I just thought that was so cute. So I'm just gonna pop this on our mantle, and it's gonna look so pretty with some greenery and maybe some candles. It'll just help to warm up my mantle and add some height and visual interest. And I love a wooden nutcracker. I just think it looks so classic and timeless, and the fact that it's made out of wood will just really stand the test of time. It's not a trend or anything like that. It's just a really festive yet classic and organic decor piece that's really gonna help to elevate my space this season. Okay, so in past holiday decorate with me's, I've used this really pretty little vintage bell that I found at World Market years ago, and I tied some frayed burgundy ribbon through it, and it just turned out to be such a cute little accent piece that I always use in different ways throughout my holiday styling every year. And so when I was actually going through the clearance section at Hobby Lobby, I found this really beautiful, similar looking gold vintage bell, or vintage look bell. It's not vintage, but it has like that vintage distressed look to it. And this guy was $3.79. I just love the look of these vintage inspired bells during wintertime because the brass helps to add a warmth and a really pretty contrast to the greenery. I liked that this one was a larger size than the size I already have, so I can use the 2 as a pair. And repetition is a trick that designers use. It's really visually pleasing to the eye, so I figured it'd look really pretty to use that repetition with the larger one and the smaller one styled together. Okay, so one of my favorite things to get at Hobby Lobby for the holiday season is Greenery because the deals are truly unmatched. And I picked up 6 of these really beautiful Real Touch picks, and these are actually only $3.99 before the discount, so each little stem was only $2, and I felt like that was such a good deal because I bought 6 of them total, so it was only $12 for this huge bunch. And I'm just gonna kind of fluff them a little bit to make them seem a bit thicker. I figured that these would be perfect to pop in a small little vase. I love styling with smaller sized vases during the holiday season because you can use them in places like a little powder bathroom or on a nightstand or on a coffee table, and they just help to add that festive touch without being overpowering. And it's those little subtle details layered throughout your home that really help to make an overall impact. You could also just use a couple of these and put them in a bowl with some ornaments as bowl filler. That would look really beautiful and festive and just kind of effortlessly styled. So definitely a really versatile and affordable piece that looks a lot more expensive than it is. All right, everyone, that about wraps up this Hobby Lobby shop with me and haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help to support my channel, and make sure that you're subscribed because there's a bunch more holiday decorating content coming and you don't want to miss it. So be sure that you hit the notification bell so you're notified when those videos do go live. And I just want to thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!